Hi guys, I'm Payne, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how Arteezy basically demolishes his lane against an Enigma, and I'm also going to be showing you why Arteezy lanes better than you do and how he is able to have such a big lead on an Enigma who's not a bad player, who's also a rank 150 player. So without further ado, let's get into it. Moving on to the next thing that I want to focus on is Arteezy's early itemization. If you see his inventory, there's like something unusual about it. The unusual thing about his inventory is that he does not have any sort of region here, and you must be wondering why is that the case. So if you look at his lane partner is an Omni Knight who has Purification as a spell which heals, and he has a Tango and a Salve and a Mango. So given these circumstances, Arteezy can get away with their greedier build and not buy any region and invest that gold into something that's going to be more useful in the lane. Moving on for the matchup, Arteezy is going to be facing an Enigma as a Tiny. Generally, this matchup can go both ways depending on who is getting more levels. So a few key things I want you guys to remember here are Tiny has 0 base armor, so the Eidolons can do a ton of damage if Enigma can micro them well and use them properly. Second thing is that Tiny has AoE spells, which are Tree Grab and Avalanche, so he can very easily clear out the Eidolons, given that he uses them perfectly well. Third thing is that Enigma has a demonic conversion, so the lane will mostly be pushed into him because he will have one less creep in his wave. Reason behind this is that he can use demonic conversion to deny a creep for free. And given that he can deny a creep for free, he will always have a level advantage in the lane if he plays the lane perfectly well. And the fifth thing is that Eidolons, if not dealt with properly, can allow the Enigma to deny more creeps and even secure a lot of CS. So before we get into the laning phase, I want you to tell you guys more about the lane equilibrium. I'm sure most of you have heard of this term a lot and might even know what this is and how important this is. But for those that are not aware why the lane being pushed into Enigma is bad, the reasoning behind this is that the closer the creeps are to your tower, the safer you are. Similarly, that's the same case for the Enigma. So if the lane is pushed into the Enigma, he does not fear being gone on or like being chased on, and he can freely see us on their tower or like outside tower range. Similarly, the same case is here that if the creep wave is closer to Arteezy, he can make the Enigma go back to the tower like by chasing him. But if Arteezy is like standing here and trying to like harass the Enigma, it will not work because Enigma can just go under his tower. So this is why lane equilibrium is really important. This is why pulls are done. Moving on to the block, you can see that Arteezy only blocks 3 creeps here and allows 1 creep to go on ahead. Why is that the case? Why does he want to do that? So the reasoning behind this is that, as mentioned before, Enigma has a spell that can deny a creep for free, which results in only 3 creeps in the lane. So if Arteezy has 4 creeps, that means his lane is always going to get pushed into the Enigma because he has a number advantage in terms of creeps. So what he does here is that he allows 1 creep to go ahead so that he meets up with the enemy creeps and gets some damage on him, and it gives him some chance of not letting the lane push in. Since the block thing does not work particularly well for Arteezy because Omni Knight blocked a few creeps, so all 3 of these creeps are not hitting the first creep that he let go in his block. What he wants to do right now is that he wants to figure out another way to make the creep equilibrium in his favor. So what he wants to do here is that he wants to draw aggro and drag these creeps onto his range creep so that the range creep dies really fast. But here you will see that he, instead of doing that, he draws aggro and moves ahead and makes his creeps chase the enemy creeps. Why is that? So the reason behind that is that if you see clearly here, this range creep is under tower range. So if he aggroes these creeps onto the tower onto the range creep, they're gonna go under tower range, which will make the tower hit them and actually push in the lane even faster. So that will be even worse for Arteezy. So what he does here is that he moves on ahead, allowing his range creep to go out of tower range, and then he's gonna secure this creep, and he's gonna draw aggro again and make the creep come on the range creep. So not only does this get his range creep killed, it also allows Arteezy to get levels faster. So as you can see here, he's almost level 2. And once he gets level 2, it's gonna be really easy for him to win this lane. Here, Arteezy communicates with his Omni Knight that he wants to hit level 2 early so that he can have Avalanche plus Tree Grab, which will allow him to burst Eidolons very quickly. So moving on further, as you can see, the Omni Knight is going to be leaving the lane shortly, like he's gonna go all the way back. But now since Arteezy hits level 2 and Omni Knight is about to zone him, what you're gonna see is that Arteezy will not use Tree Grab as soon as it's off cooldown. So what he does that he waits it out, and as you can see here, he's gonna wait for the Enigma to use Eidolons. That's the only time he's gonna be using Tree Grab and Avalanche to kill the Eidolons. Because if he doesn't do that, then Enigma gets a free lane and he can CS freely without being contested. So as you can see here, Arteezy, as soon as Enigma uses Eidolons, Arteezy uses Tree Grab and gets rid of the Eidolons really quickly. And the next thing that's about to unfold is that him and Omni Knight are going to start denying these creeps, because Enigma as a hero has really low base damage. So for him to CS without Eidolons is really hard. And the other thing that I want you guys to focus on is that the Enigma is about to get double waved. And this wave is going to go under his tower. So what you're going to see here is that as soon as this wave goes under the tower, what Arteezy is going to do is that he's going to start denying all of this. So the only way this is possible is because Eidolons are dead, because Enigma has really low base damage compared to the Tiny, 54 to 72. He will have a really hard time trying to secure the CS. So Arteezy gets one deny, he gets another deny, and he uses Avalanche to get a third deny. So if you see the CS difference after this, Arteezy is 13 and 7 and Enigma is 3 and 2. So all this was done, and the lead to this was the first wave and how he used his level advantage over the Enigma. After that, what you're mostly going to see is that Arteezy is never going to use Tree Grab unless the Enigma uses Eidolons, because this is really necessary, because if Arteezy wastes Tree Grab before Enigma summons Eidolons, he will have no way of getting rid of the Eidolons really fast. So you're going to see here that he will only use this as soon as the Enigma uses Eidolons. Here he uses Tree Grab because he notices that Enigma does not have any mana. He has mangoes, but he will be forced to use mangoes. And in this situation, he really does not want to spawn Eidolons because there aren't enough creeps to farm. And the other thing is that there are no camps to farm either because they are both blocked. So now this situation arises, and you will see that as soon as he summons Eidolons, Arteezy gets Tree Grab and gets on top of them. This lane keeps going back and forth, but if you see the network CS chart, there's like a huge difference. And you can see that Arteezy is just chilling here, trying to CS without using his Tree Grab. So what you're going to notice here is that if you see Enigma here on the map, what he's basically trying to do is that he's trying to drag this wave all the way behind this tower. So what this is going to do is that he's going to make this wave meet up with this second wave and keep the lane static here, and keep forcing Arteezy's wave under his tower so that he can get something out of the lane. This is like his best chance to do this. So Arteezy notices this, and as soon as he sees that this is happening, he uses Tree Grab and tries to push this wave in as fast as he can. So you might be wondering why is that the case? Why does he want to do that? So the answer to that is that he wants to farm this wave as soon as possible so that he can go run to this camp and then pull this camp onto the next wave that is about to come. So if we go and check here, he pushes this lane as fast as he can with the toss and everything so that he's on time. And now he watches the wave and pulls this into this. And he makes sure it's only the range creep because he doesn't want the full wave to push into him. And because of this, the thing that was about to happen did not happen, which was Arteezy would have lost a few waves. If you see here, he's already lost one wave, and he was going to lose more than that if he did not do what he did right now. So at 7 minutes, you're going to notice Arteezy has 30 more last hits than the Enigma, and this lead is only going to increase. This is mostly it for the analysis. After this point, there's not much that happens in the lane except that Arteezy just farms and extends his lead. So if you guys like the content, please make sure to leave a like and a subscribe, and comment down what kind of content you like to see and what do you think about this video. Other than that, if any of you are interested in any one-on-one coaching, you can join my Discord. The link is given in description, and you can also hang out with other students